Woo! What's going on, guys? Arms Form coming to you guys today with another video. In today's video, we talk about some breaking news a little bit here for the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions went out and they did sign veteran defensive end Bruce Irvin to kind of bolster their pass rush, to bolster their defense overall. The 13-year veteran. Played for a few teams. We'll get into that a little bit right now. We'll get into some college stats. You know, this is 13 years ago, guys. He played for West Virginia. He was a West Virginia Mountaineer. He's 36 years old. Drafted in the first round, 15th overall, I believe it was, to the Seattle Seahawks. Played 2 years at West Virginia. 61 tackles, 29 sacks, 1 pass deflect, 5 forced fumbles. 6'3", 250 pounds. His NFL numbers are 103 starts, 3 interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 13 pass deflections, 16 forced fumbles, 3 fumble recoveries, 343 total tackles, 69 tackles for loss, 129 quarterback hits, and 55.5 sacks. So 55.5 sacks. He's played for the Seattle Seahawks. He's played for the Raiders. He's played for the Atlanta Falcons. He's played for the Carolina Panthers, and he did a stint with the Chicago Bears. He's done 3 different stints, I believe, with the Seattle Seahawks as well. So they've let him go, bring him back, trade him, let him go. He's come back 3 times. He is a pass rusher. That's what he is. Now, we're going to get into this. You know, he's a situational pass rusher 100% at this juncture of his career. He's not going to be starting for anytime soon for our Detroit Lions. He's even going to the practice squad right now. So he might not even be ready for this Sunday's game against the Chicago Bears. Now, I want to get some things off my chest about this because I have kind of let up on the video about Brad Holmes not really necessarily going after anybody in the trade deadline. Now, we heard rumors that they kind of tried to lowball the Washington Commanders for guys like Montez Sweat and Chase Young. Sweat going to the Chicago Bears for a second-round pick, and Chase Young going to the San Francisco 49ers to reunite with Nick Bosa, that we played college with at OSU, and they gave up a third-round pick to get him. There was rumors out there, reports, whatever you want to say, that Brad Holmes tried to lowball the Washington Commanders, offering up like a third or a fourth for Montez Sweat and like a fourth or a fifth for a Chase Young. Obviously, they got better offers from the Bears, got better offers from the 49ers, and off they went there. And we didn't really make any dealings to bolster our defense. We didn't do anything. We went and picked up a wide receiver. I thought it was a decent wide receiver pickup, and hopefully we can get to see Donovan Peoples-Jones soon. But this is where this kind of throws me off. Now, this was, you know, they tried to lowball teams because let's be honest here. This pass rush has been non-existent for, you know, not I want to say half the season, but they went at least 3 or 4 games. I think it was 3 games for sure where they got blanked out on sacks. Blanked out, 0 across the board. Now we're 7-2. And I'm not complaining about the season. I'm not going to sit here and bash Brad Holmes. But just because we're 7-2 does not mean that he is void of any type of criticism. It doesn't mean that. I still love him as a GM. He's probably the best GM we've ever had. He's done great work here. But he still is allowed to be criticized. He's not God. He's not the best thing since sliced bread. He does make mistakes. He is a human being. And he's a guy that loves his draft capital. He didn't want to give up a second. He didn't want to give up a third. He didn't want to do any of that stuff, and that's fine. This defense has been exposed a few times, at least 3 times, by Baltimore, Seattle, and the LA Chargers. We've lost 2 of those games, Baltimore and Seattle, and we're in a shootout with the LA Chargers. Defense getting gashed on all 3 of those games. Luckily, the offense showed up for at least 2 of those games. We had an opportunity to win 2, but we only won 1 game out of 3. And it's going to be a different animal come playoff time. Now, I'm not going to sit here and bash the player that got here. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh man, Bruce Irvin is terrible. But let's call it what it is. He's a 36-year-old pass rusher. Okay? That's what he is. He's a 36-year-old pass rusher. And his numbers last year, he had 10 games he started. He had 28 tackles, 18 solo, 10 assists, 5 tackles for loss, 9 quarterback hits, and 3.5 sacks. That's not bad. That's not bad for a 35-year-old. Now he's 36 years old. So, he's going to come in here. He's going to be a mentor. Or, he's going to be a mentor to whoever. I don't really know. To maybe James Houston when he comes back. To maybe Aiden Hutchinson. Teach Hudson maybe some tricks of the trade. He's that wily veteran. I think it was going to be more of a mentor thing. I think he would have been in the building by week 1. But to me, this signing, and it's just, this is just my opinion, it reeks a little bit of desperation. It reeks a little bit of desperation because and the world knew that we needed a pass rusher to help Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. Now, is it going to be Bruce Irvin? No, it's not. What you're getting out of a Bruce Irvin, you're not getting him to play to stop the run. You're not getting him to do anything to drop back into coverage because he's linebacker size pretty much. He's an undersized DN, but he's got some giddy up. At 36 years old, I don't remember ever seeing him play for Seattle last year. I guess he was on that Seattle team when we played him. I don't remember. I think he was anyways. I don't really remember him much from last year because I don't follow the Seahawks. I remember though when he was a free agent back in 2013, 14, 16, 17. I think he went to the Raiders, got the big money from the Raiders, or decent money at the time. I wanted the Lions to sign him then because he was a guy that had potential. He had a couple. I think he has 3 8+ sack seasons. Only 55.5 sacks a season. 55.5 sacks for his whole career. That averages out to 4.6 sacks, if you're wondering, per year. Different situations and stuff like that. But that's the reality of it. He averages about, let's just say, 5 sacks a season. That's basically what he does. So basically is what you're going to get. What we're getting here, we're getting a situational pass rusher. We're getting a guy that's 36 years old. You're getting a type of James Houston type player, but but much older. That's what you're getting. And where he fits in the scheme, I just think they're going to tell this guy, pin your ears back and go. You're not going to give this guy a whole big playbook on situations, on run schemes and all that stuff. Obviously, you're going to have, he's going to get his nose in the playbook. Hopefully, he's going to be one of those guys. But this is a guy that you're literally telling to pin your ears back and go. But I just think we dropped the ball here. And what I'm saying is that we're not a team. I'm just trying to put this in the lightest terms. I just think Holmes should have done something. This now he realizes that the opportunity is here because I wanted to do this video before. I kind of said I was going to do it. I never really got to it. I just kind of let it go. I'm like, I'm not going to get into this right now. But a move like this kind of triggered me. Now, I don't mind the player. You're trying to better the room a little bit. I don't think you really upgraded the room because you basically got a James Houston type Charles Harris player. He's not going to come in. He's not going to, he's going to come in for the next. He's probably not going to play this week, so he's going to come in week 11. He's going to come week 11, week 12. We're on week 11. So he's going to play for the next 7 games. What kind of impact is he going to have? He's going to be situational. That's all he's going to be. Like I said, pin his ears back and go. I just think, this is a team, the Detroit Lions, that, they don't have a problem getting after the quarterback. They don't have a problem getting after the quarterback. And they're 10th in the NFL in pressure rate, and they're 3rd in hurry rate. That's great. That's really great there. But getting home is a whole different story. Okay, and I know pressure rate and hurry rate and quarterback hit rates, they're big. It's not just about the sacks. I'm pretty knowledgeable of the sport. I've never been an X's and O's type guy, but I know what it takes to be a successful team. Like I could tell, being like everybody rips on Aiden Hutchinson, for instance. Okay, just for a quick instance, they rip on him because he's only got 4.5 sacks on the season, but he's top 2, top 3 in pressure rate. So he's making the quarterback make harsh decisions, quick decisions that he doesn't want to make. So we do like that part of the Lions game. But getting to the quarterback is a whole different story. Bottom line, they're bottom 3 in sacks with 3 games with at least 0 sacks to their name. And all those games that we got gashed were those games. We got gashed by Seahawks. How many sacks we have in that game, guys? 1. Gashed by Baltimore. How many sacks? 0. gashed by the LA Chargers. How many sacks? 0. And finally it took that to open up the eyes of Brad Holmes. I don't know how. And they went out and they signed a 36-year-old pass rusher. I hope he's got gas in the tank. That's all I'm saying. This is all I'm saying. I think they dropped the ball. You could have went and got somebody else, even if it was an inside guy, even if it was like a Leonard Williams who went, I believe he went to Seattle. He went to Seattle. San Francisco got better. The Eagles tried to get better. They drafted defense. You're telling me that we didn't need to trade for defense? All the other top teams did. Basically everybody. Eagles, 49ers, Seahawks, all those teams that we're probably going to be facing come playoff time. I think the only one that didn't do anything, I think, was Dallas. I don't think they did anything. They already got a rock-steady defense to begin with. So, I got a buddy of mine who says that they probably could have went for a corner, but that's a whole other story. I don't follow the Cowboys. But, and I think this kind of has something, maybe a little bit to do with the James Houston situation as well, too. James Houston came out the other day, or somebody, I think it was him, who came out and said he is not going to be ready. He's not ready till the end of December. And then after that, Dan Campbell is like, I don't really know how he's going to be. He's going to be, I think he shattered that ankle, whatever he did. He broke that ankle in half. How is he going to be? Is he going to be ready? Is he going to be game ready? How long is it going to take? Is he going to be ready for week 1 of the playoffs? If we make the playoffs. We're still going to make the playoffs, guys. We haven't made it there. We're getting closer. We're inching closer week by week. But I think come playoff time, this is when our defense is really going to need to be bolstered, and it's not. It didn't get better. This defense did not get better. Bruce Irvin doesn't make this defense better. He's not a bad player. I'm not ripping on Bruce Irvin. Just saying that this is basically you're just getting a body. You're getting a body with a guy who's done it before, but is 36 years old. And is he going to do it again? That's my puppy barking because he hears Daddy's voice. But other than that, man, this is not a we need to fire Brad Holmes. We need to, he needs to go. Nothing like that. I'm just saying I think we really dropped the ball on this situation, and he kind of showed his colors a little bit right here by going after a guy like Bruce Irvin. By going after a 36-year-old kind of has been pass rusher. He had a few sacks last year. He kind of got to the quarterback, 3.5 in 10 games. So hopefully he can kind of do that for the next however long he's here. It looks like he's gonna be here for at least 7 games. Maybe he can get a couple sacks, get some pressures. Maybe he's got it still in him, man. It was only last year he was doing that. I just think we could have done a little bit better, went a little younger, maybe spent a little capital. And spending the capital like a 2nd or 3rd round pick doesn't exhaust your draft. People are all scared. Oh man, the whole draft is out the window. No, 2nd, 3rd round picks doesn't really dictate. You can get great players there. Don't get me wrong, but it doesn't dictate what you really want to do. And don't give me the cap space garbage either, because you can always make room for cap. The cap is a myth. The cap is a joke. It can be manipulated. That's why they got capologists, professionals that do it for a living. So if you're going to come at me with the cap, expect to get a retort back, because I don't believe the cap is a joke. It's just a myth, and you guys know it. So don't tell me we got no money. You can always make room for money. You can always make room. It happens. The good teams do it. And that's it, guys. But he is a Detroit Lion. I wish him nothing but the best. I want him to come in, and I'd love for him to get a sack a game. Prove me wrong. I just think it was a little bit of a desperate move. I just think it was a little bit showing your colors a little bit on what you didn't do, Brad Holmes, because you should have went out and got somebody. And it didn't necessarily have to be Montez Sweat or Chase Young. It could have been somebody else. You had to get somebody that's got a lukewarm body out there. You just got a guy that's literally hasn't been on a team. He's been sitting on the couch. Obviously, he's been training, working out. They obviously must have brought him in for a workout, and he must have looked good. So I wish him nothing but the best. He is a Detroit Lion. Bruce Irvin has some giddy up to the quarterback. Hopefully still. Good luck, man. Good luck with that, and I really hope he comes and he shines and he puts my foot in my mouth. That's it, guys. Really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys coming in and watching the video. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the bottom right. Don't forget the notification bell up top. Don't forget to like, comment, share this out. What do you think? Bruce Irvin in the building? Is he going to be the answer? Situational. Thanks, guys. Go Lions, one pride, baby. Boom.